the first truly perfect prison. Every single escape method was fixed.
This time, without room for principles. Only room for safety.
Welcome to Loki's final thought. Enough bragging. Time to actually start. So, just like Neptune's last wave, Loki's final vault makes use of a nether kill check, but this one is different. I'll get onto that later in the video, so stick around. So first of all, the prisoner joins the voice call with all the guards, and the warden presses the button to unlock the nether kill check. 2 guards enter the nether, and the prisoner is allowed in. After getting in, the portal will close, and the prisoner will be forced to set his spawn. The door will close and the prisoner will be killed. Now, here it depends on what kind of prisoner you are. This prison has minimum and maximum security cells with different security and different protocols. But let's just assume this prisoner is a minimum security prisoner. The guards will open that spawn and the prisoner will walk to the portal. When the prisoner arrives, the nether guard will tell the warden and the warden will close the inside chamber. The moment the prisoner joins the overworld, the portal will be closed and blocked, triggered by a pufferfish. The prisoners set their spawn and get killed. When they respawn, they move through this sliding door and wait in front of these netherite blocks, and they might seem familiar. So to set their spawn, the guards will press this button, and the netherite block starts to move. This is because of a way to use a mechanic Thub thought of, and it works because of moving blocks. So if a block is standing, it's obviously solid. You can't interact through it or access anything on the other side. Well, that changes when the block moves. Entities still can't move through it, but where you first would punch the block, you now interact through it, setting your spawn on the bed. So after setting their spawn, the prisoner moves on. They swim through this hallway and the warden will open the correct hallway, where they will set their spawn and get suffocated. Minimum security cells is the normal cell, just regenerated cobblestone, so let's quickly move on to a way more interesting part. The maximum security cells. So just like the minimum security, the maximum security prisoners go through the nether kill check and enter the portal, which closes automatically. But this kill check, instead of just setting your spawn, by right clicking this bed you will sleep, and when you leave you get killed and the spawn opens. This is so the guard watching through a composter glitch at the prisoner knows for sure the prisoner has set their spawn. After respawning, they drop down through the slide doors to the next kill check, and moving on past this hallway to the cells. And here it gets really complicated. All because of one name. Kevin. So if you have been in some sort of contact with me over the course of the last few months, you have definitely heard about this. I talked about it on stream and in the Discord, but I never actually told what it was. Because it fixes the one escape method no one ever even tried to fix. The unloaded Ender Pearl stasis chamber. So you might not know about this, so let me explain it very briefly. So by throwing an Ender Pearl in the bubble column 7 deep, it bounces up and you don't get teleported until you place a block. Then the Ender Pearl suddenly activates, teleporting the owner to the exact spot. Now this is a really good system, almost every prison uses already for the guards. But this system has one critical flaw. Die. If you die, this pearl disappears. Blocking the bubble column then won't do anything and the prisoner is trapped in if they had set one up before getting imprisoned. Except it's not that easy. By unloading the chunk whenever the prisoner gets killed, the server won't register the ender pearl disappearing. So by loading the chunks whenever the prisoner is in and activating the chamber, you render all security useless. Not a single prison fixed this flaw. So we got to deciding. So admire the UEP-SCRM, the unloaded ender pearl stasis chamber reaction mechanism, aka Kevin. So the prisoner comes down and sets his spawn, but instead of killing the prisoner, which would teleport him into the cell, they have to go up the bubble elevator, where they will get a bone to tame a dog. So before the prisoner moves up to the cell access, the guard leashes the dog. The prisoner goes up the elevator, and when at the top they get one singular ender pearl, which they have to set their ender pearl stasis chamber with. They will then move on to the cell, and the moment they enter the cell, the guard unlocks Kevin and unleashes the dog, loading up Kevin. Kevin briefly works like this. A tamed dog can't be too far away from its owner, 12 blocks in any direction to be exact. If the prisoner does move more than 12 blocks away, the dog will teleport. And since the dog is standing under pressure plate, the system ceases and immediately activates the ender pearl stasis chamber, teleporting the prisoner back. And less than 0.12 seconds later, a lockdown starts, teleporting all guards and chunkmanning the whole prison, including Kevin, trapping the prisoner in the chunkman. The guards will lead the prisoner back to the cell after resetting the dog, so the system is ready to act again, if needed. So the maximum security cell is a lot more secure. All guards are always able to enter the cell through a one-way wall door. The door closes the moment the guards are through. Dying is impossible, and even leaving the cell would lead to nothing. Entering the wall in the wrong direction will activate Kevin, chunkmanning everything. Now you can think this is inhumane, to which I say, prisoner still gets visitors. Unlike certain prisons. Right, yes. Let's get on to the visiting process. So the visitors go through the nether kill check. I know, a change of plot. But the visitors go all the way up and go through the portal on the very top. And when going through the portal, it will close automatically again. And after setting your spawn and getting killed, you will spawn up at a higher platform. Now, the moment you step on this pressure plate at the spawn, you get pushed down. It prevents a fairly unknown escape method, known as the end exploit. It works by setting a stasis on the end portal and letting someone else teleport you. You gear up in the end, and when coming back through the end portal, you respawn at your last spawn. Almost no prison fixed this flaw, so visitors could respawn kitted out. This system kicks you off, so if you try to spawn again without the guard's permission, you will respawn in a second spawn with the pressure plate, triggering a lockdown. But even without this system, it still wouldn't work. Guards have full clear vision on the entire visiting process, and if they have any suspicion the prisoner is trying anything, they can chunkman the visiting room with the press of a button. It wouldn't even be a lockdown. You see, the guard control room is actually just outside of the range of the chunkman, so guards will be safe. After moving on through the large tunnel, you will get to a drop down room. In minimum security, you will just get killed by a guard if you want or have to leave, and you're on world spawn. On maximum security, a guard will enter through the wall while the visitors enter through the roof, so the guard can kill the prisoner or visitor if they suspect the visitor is trying to transfer items or help escape. Guards leave through the ender pearl stasis chamber, and speaking about guard, let's get on to more guard security. So not only are guards just secured by chunk base and direct communication between warden and guards, they are also protected by an auto padding, nicknamed as James. It's in multiple prisons already kind of used, but never in the way we did. All 10 guards and 4 possible wardens have a cat next to their stages with a note block above it. By pressing this note block, the system will set this guard online. When they want to log off, they press it again. If any of the guards log off without pressing that note block, a lockdown automatically gets triggered. This means if you try to chunkman the guard, the prison will lock down. but trying to chunk ban or kick the warden, who will by default sit in the center chunk, will automatically suicide the entire prison. This also means that blocking the way of the guard will result in nothing. A guard can log off, which will teleport all guards back and chunk ban everything, even the cells. All actions that are kind of suspicious will result in chunk ban. But next to guard security, the rest of the prison also has some interesting features. For example, this time the trap portals are placed in a constantly chunk banned area. And blowing it up? Didn't think so. The portals are built to detect the portal blowing up. If the portal blows up, it relights, which there are 24 of. And remember when I said the nether kill check was different? Well, the nether kill check is chunk banned as well. The walls are built with many item frame bends, but even in the inside is chunk banned, which can only be turned off by the warden pressing the button. Digging in from the top won't succeed, it will be detected, and even after that there's a soul sand layer, so withering, don't think so. Speaking about soul sand, let's talk about the wither walls, because that deserves some attention. So the whole wither wall is actually chunk banned through multiple sources. There are the normal water chunk ban that dispense the bench choker and get picked up again. But if you decide to sabotage those, keep watching to find out how, there's an alternative. The entire floor is covered in item frame bins. And with that, there's the problem of the actual wall. It's not just water, nor is it just anvils. It's a mix of both. I have it here in small because in reality this is extremely laggy on this skill, so I cannot blame you for not wanting to play on both. So let me get this straight right now. There are 2 downloads, not 2 versions. 2 downloads. One of them, the performance version, is for escapes that never see the outside, or for the people who only want to look. So inside escapes, use download 1. And 1 is the laggy one. This is for those who want to try and break in. More on that at the end. Alright, so the entire top is covered in observers, so trying to break in will be detected, and speaking of detected, there's also an observer wall on the inside. But now, one more interesting thing. There's another flaw no one ever fixed. It's called an update suppressor. But since we have only a little time left, let's get this over real quickly. Alright, here are the basics. By making a lot of redstone activate or a lot of entities move, you can actually overload the system to the point where redstone doesn't work properly. I don't know the fine details, but it comes down to almost all redstone deactivating or just staying in the state it was when the update suppressor activated. So that's why we have a system for that. There are 9 modules of anti-update suppressing. If any of them picks up any kind of server delay, it will chunk ban until the updates go normal again. Those are the very basics. And now, with all these security measures being told, I think you understand me as I say, this is the perfect prison. Mithradeck was wrong. It does exist. And here it is.